My name is James McGlinnis. I'm running for Sheriff of Pinellas County 2020. I also ran in 2016. And one of the things I do is I like to investigate things that have to do with police corruption, especially at the Sheriff's Office. And one of the things in that subset of investigations, I investigate whether or not officers or officers' family members are given special consideration or special treatments through criminal or civil issues here in the courthouses or by the police. So I was informed about an arrest yesterday of a woman named Jill Wentz, W-E-N-T-Z. And the arrest report or the booking report at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office shows that her address was exempt, her date of birth was exempt, and normally when those are all exempted, that means it's a police officer. That's the only reason they exempt those from public records. So of course this piqued my interest and I decided to go and check it out. Well, I went down to the courthouse to get the records of the booking, to get the records of the event, to get the records of what was going on. And basically it was a drunken disorderly by a daughter, a 30-year-old daughter of Lieutenant Captain James Wentz of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, and also another Lieutenant Wentz, a female, who's the mother of this daughter. So this particular arrestee had both a mother and a father that works for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department. When I went down to the clerk's office at the courthouse, I ran into a lot of interesting roadblocks of the Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies just making sure that I did not get what I was looking for. And one of the main things I was looking for was the actual video of her jailhouse hearing, which is, you've seen them on the news, they're fairly common. I went down there to get a copy of that so I could see whether or not it was raised to help her out. She went from a bond situation to an ROR, released on own recognizance, for a pretty bad drunken disorderly. So I wanted to know if at that hearing they said, well, you know, her parents are both Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies and they pulled that card or not. So I went down to get that record, and this is what happened. Here's the police report from Jill Wentz's arrest, disorderly intoxication disturbance. As you can see, she was outside somebody's house kicking in a screen door on the porch, yelling, "I need to find my mom," with no shoes on a pretty cold night. She was arrested and taken into custody by a St. Petersburg police officer. Here is a previous arrest from 2008 where the same woman, Jill Wentz, daughter of a Pinellas County Sheriff captain and a lieutenant, a couple that both worked for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, they talked about how she was so drunk that they were taking her in because they were concerned for her medical condition, and she bit the EMT on the arm as they were trying to put her on the gurney. Apparently, not much has changed in her life since then. So,
it's not going to happen.
Okay, so you're going to violate Title 10, Chapter 119?
Yes.
You're going to violate Title 10, Chapter 119?
I am telling you that I don't have facilities for you to sit here and listen to your audio of your proceedings.
It wasn't my proceeding.
Whatever proceedings. You can buy an audio CD. They're $25, and that's how this office conducts business.
Well, I understand that, but there is case law here in Florida under Title 10, Chapter 119, where people have been sued, agencies have been sued for that exact thing that you're asking me. And so I'm coming here to ask to listen to it, and I do have the legal right under Title 10, Chapter 119 to come at any given time during normal business hours and inspect and copy any record, including audio records, including video records. And you cannot say you can't hear it, you can't see it, you cannot inspect it, you cannot copy it unless you pay us $25. That's against the law. That's putting a restriction, that's putting a condition on the access to the records, and by law you can't do that.
Thank you for the legal education, but I said no.
So you're going to violate that? I need another public records request.
I am the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you.
So now she's not coming to the window. My guess is she's probably calling the police. Says not to knock on the door, but it does say to...
We're getting someone for you, just a minute.
No, I'd like to make another public records request.
Well, that's for the sheriff to decide.
little dark cubbyhole they have you in. There are the hours of operation that they're open. I've rang the bell. Rattling. Let's see who's gonna be.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you guys waiting for anybody?
I'm not sure. Deborah, hold on 1 second. I'll meet you.
Thanks. How you doing?
Pretty good evening.
Can you step out in the hallway for a minute, please? I need to speak with her in private. Step out in the hallway.
Well, this is a public.
I'm not
library.
asking anymore. Step out in the hallway. Do it now.
This is a public
Go
library.
ahead, but I need to talk to her in private.
Okay.
Step out here.
Now you have 4 of them.
Just step on here.
I
need to talk to her,
wanna
not
make
you.
But I'm here
You
to
can
make a
talk to
public
her in a
record.
minute.
I would like to get her last paycheck. That'd
That's
be
fine.
okay.
That's not a problem, but I will talk to her. Right over here. Go ahead. Is there something going on today?
Why?
Is there something going on today?
I came to make a public records request.
Say that again.
I came to make a public records request
For what?
for a recording of a hearing.
Are you here to pick something up?
I'm here to make a public records request. That's what you can do at that window.
Of course you can, but
That's what I was doing.
So let us talk to her, and I don't see why that should be a problem.
I don't see why it's a problem either.
Okay, just do me a favor. Just wait out here. We thought something else was going on up
What
here.
did they say was going on?
We don't know.
Over here, sir.
Mr. McClendon,
No, this is.
do you have your ID with you, and you
No,
can
so
let me
it's
know what
on
it
the
is you're trying to get?
I'm not required to show
Oh,
ID.
so
I
it
haven't
gave us a
violated any
false
law.
name.
Nobody's saying that you violated the law. I'm asking you, what is it you're trying to get?
I'm trying to listen to a hearing that
Yes.
was held yesterday.
I've spoken with the individual. So she has explained to me that it is $25 and she can get you a copy of it, but you cannot go back into the secured area, which only secure authorized personnel is allowed into, to go ahead and view it. But you can view it at your leisure with your copy once you've paid the fee.
And like I explained to her, Title 10, Chapter 119 specifically states that I have the legal right to come here and listen to the recording and make my own copy of it if I want to. That's what Title 10, Chapter 119
And
says.
according to Title
Yes.
10, you may have access to do that. However,
that's what I'm asking for.
security procedures override access to any other possibility of you doing that.
No, security.
We have secure areas in here
That's
that
fine.
the public does not have access to go into.
I didn't ask to go back there.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that you cannot go back there to view it.
I didn't ask to go back there to do
So
it.
you want to view it where? In the lobby?
Wherever they want to show me.
If you pay for your fee, you can go into any public area of this building
But
and
you
view
see,
it.
but you see, that is a restriction or a condition upon access to public records, which is a violation of Title 10, Chapter 119.
Okay.
I have the right to come here and videotape and audio tape and copy and inspect any record that's in this building under normal business hours. They don't have the right to say, you cannot inspect or copy the video unless you pay us $25. That's a violation of the law.
Okay.
So now, since she did that, now what I would like to do is make a public records request for her last paycheck so I can identify her.
Okay, well, that information is not something that I have access to. I'm
Well,
sure
somebody
there's,
does here in the building. Where do I go to get that?
to get what, a copy of her
Of
paycheck?
her last paycheck.
I'm not sure if that's available for public record.
is. It's
But we
public
do
record.
have public records here on the second floor, if that's something that
But I
you
need
want
to know
go
her
and
name in
request.
order to ask for her record. So I'm asking her for that right here, because how am I going to go ask for her paycheck if she won't even give me her name?
Okay. Did
So
you
I
ask
either
her for her name?
Yes, I either need her name or I need her last paycheck from that window.
Did she decline to give you her name?
She just walked away.
Okay, that's a choice that she has. I can't force somebody to give a name. I physically
So then
can't
how
do
am I
it.
supposed to access the records if she won't tell me her name?
It's an unfortunate situation that I'm not a party to. I don't have that information, and she's not willing to give it, so I don't have an answer in that regard.
So again, I'm being blocked from a public record I'm entitled to.
I'm not blocking you.
Well, I asked her for the record, so why is she not giving me the record?
I don't know. It's a complaint you may need to take with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to take it with her office, but we're going to ask you at this point that you go ahead and leave them alone unless you have specific business, such as
I did.
paying for the copies of the files that you're requesting or the video that you're requesting. That's fine, and I can stand by and make sure that you're able to do that. But you won't be able to view them in the secure area.
Oh, will you
of
stand
that.
by and do that while I request her last paycheck? Because I can request it to any office, any window, any agent in this building, and it's their job to get it to the agency that's supposed to have it. So can you escort me back in there so I can ask for that?
Okay, let's start with this. All right, go ahead and take your phone if you would, please. For me, just put it in your pocket.
I'm going to continue videotaping.
Okay.
I'm not going to stop videotaping. But I have the right to do this.
Okay, that's
And the
fine.
reason I have the right to do this is
Well,
because
I was trying to help you, but yes, fine. I'm not required to help you or assist you with this situation.
you just offered to.
I offer to.
Right, so let's go do it.
You want to work with me, I'll work with you. I don't need a videotape in my face.
Well,
So-
the problem is Title 10, Chapter 119 does not have any enforcement other than civil litigation, right?
All right, well, we're at this point.
So I have the right to videotape
My
this.
corporal's here, she'll take care of any questions that you have. Thank you very much.
So now you're declining the offer of help you already gave?
Yeah, you can go to the second floor clerk's office and get any information that you need.
Right, you guys are pieces of work.
Sir,
Yes?
just gonna ask you to stand by for 1 moment.
Are you preventing me from going and making a public records request?
Yes, at this point, I am preventing
So am I
you from
being
going
detained?
inside of there, yes, because you are being trespassed at this point, which means you are no longer able to be at this facility.
So you're
I'm giving you your
trespassing me so
warning.
that I cannot make a public records request?
I am trespassing you not to prevent you from being able to take care of anything that has access to the
And what
public.
is the purpose of trespassing me? What is the reason you're trespassing me?
Okay, sir, step over here, please.
What is the reason you're trespassing me? I have a right to know.
An authorized party representative of this location has requested that you be trespassed from this location. I haven't gotten any more information
Right, but for what reason?
other than you are not doing what they're asking you to do.
When did I not do what they asked me to do?
Well, first of all, I told you to go over to the clerk's office.
That'll
And
be
you're
one.
standing in front.
I already went to the clerk's office. They told me to come here.
No, they didn't.
They just did. You want to go confirm it with the lady? Would you like to walk down there with me and confirm it with her?
Hi, miss. Is this a gentleman?
Yes.
You want to trespass from this property?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're under arrest, sir. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, you can't arrest me for that.
Come on. You
Seriously, dude?
Listen.
Was it he told
at
earlier
this
today?
point, you have been notified by authorized personnel that you are to be trespassed from this area. I will be doing a report. First thing I need to get is your information, and then I'm going to request that you ask. So,
James, just tell him.
Sir, you're not welcome back here anymore
And why is that?
at the DCR department window.
And why is that?
Because when I tell you.
That's good. You're good. You don't have to explain.
Thank you very much.
He'll explain it.
Okay.
okay. So at this point, you are being trespassed. I'm going to need some information. What is your name?
Okay, why do I have to show ID if you trespass me? I get to leave. If you're asking me to leave, I get to leave, correct? And that's what I'm doing.
I need your information to be able to write a report on this. At this point, I'm conducting an investigation into the trespass. By not giving me your information, you're obstructing my ability to do
We
this.
know who he is. That's it.
Do you have his information?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
So at this point, we're just going to ask you to leave. I'll get your
Which is what
information
I was
later.
doing.
I'll make a report of this. You are not to be allowed back at any point into their office.
Into which office? Can
This
you
office
please?
right here.
Can you please identify which place?
Sure.
This is the
Come over
courthouse,
here, sir.
obviously.
You can take a
So,
recording of it since you're
okay,
doing it.
show me-
Listed right here. Digital court reporting. So if you have any questions or...
Okay,
if
so
you-
just
if-
so we're
no, no,
clear,
no, no.
so
If
where
you
does the
have any
trespass
questions-
line, you're being reasonable, where does the trespass line begin and end?
Justice office here, digital
Right
recording,
here.
please.
So as long as I don't go in that room?
You can contact them by
correct.
mail.
Okay,
You can
thank you.
contact them by phone.
Thank you very much. I
You are not
appreciate
to
it.
come back
We're
into this
good.
office.
Hardigan, thank you for being
We're good.
professional. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna go get her. Sorry, man.
And that's what it's like if you try and request records at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department and you're also a candidate for sheriff. I'm running for sheriff in 2020, ran 2016. They don't want to give you any records. They don't want to provide any records to you. They don't want to give you access. They'll violate Title 10, Chapter 119. And as you just saw, they'll threaten to arrest you for nothing. So let's just do a little recap of the video. There are a lot of things that are happening in the video in such a short period of time. Sometimes it's hard to follow. The details get lost. In the first event, they ordered me out of a public area where I have a First Amendment protected right to film anything that happens in a public area that I can see with my eyes. That lobby I was in was clearly a public area. It was the public waiting room. If that deputy wanted to go and have a private chat with the other government worker, she could have went in the back room. So there was really no reason to A, kick me out of the lobby, B, violate my First Amendment right to videotape, and C, physically put hands on me and order me out of the office physically and forcefully. That was an unnecessary use of force. So I wanted to point out that Florida Open Records Law, Title X, Chapter 119.10b states that any person that knowingly violates the provisions of Chapter 119.071 is subject to suspension and removal or impeachment, and in addition commits a misdemeanor of the first degree, punishable as provided by 775.082. So basically, when that woman refused to provide the public records that I was asking for legally, she committed a crime, a criminal act. And that the punishment with that criminal act includes a criminal arrest, a criminal charge, and to be removed from office. So even though she was the one that committed the crime, they were treating me, the person who was asking for the public records legally and under the law, like the criminal. And these are some of the things that just really has to stop. I'm not sure how much of this was Sheriff Gualtieri's way of harassing and attacking a political opponent using the office of sheriff to block records requests, but he's done that quite often, and I currently have a lawsuit against him for failing to produce just a series of his emails. I'm in the process of suing him again because I'm trying to obtain his daily schedule, what he does every day, and I make a daily records request every day for his schedule. And Sheriff Gualtieri is trying to prevent me from getting that by telling me that it costs $400 a day to see what he's doing every day. Just his daily schedule, whatever's on his calendar, that's $400 a day. Obviously, it doesn't take $400 to produce his schedule, but this is just an attempt to prevent me, a political opponent, from being able to prove to you that he's not here in office half the time. And this is sort of the battles that we have in getting public records from corrupt officials. They use their power, they use their authority to block you from finding out what they're really up to. And that's why Title 10, Chapter 119 allows all of us, at any point in time, to go see any public record and access those public records. That's the whole purpose of open government. So we know what they're doing, why they're doing it, and we have the right to object to it, which is what I'm doing. In this one incident, these various sheriff's deputies were rude. They were totally ignorant of the law. They violated my constitutional rights multiple times. They violated my rights to access public records. They physically assaulted me twice, attempted to falsely arrest me by literally taking out handcuffs and grabbing me by the arm when I had done nothing wrong. They tried to fabricate an arrest forcing me out of a room I had legal right to be in. They tried to fabricate another arrest claiming I had given them a false name. They tried to fabricate an arrest for trespassing. They tried to create an arrest for obstruction for not giving ID when Florida statutes clearly state I'm not required to give ID unless I'm suspected of committing a crime, and clearly the video shows I had committed no crime that day. So they clearly knew who I was. They knew I was James McGlinnis, candidate for sheriff, and this is how they treated me anyway, or is this how they treated me because I'm candidate for sheriff? Either way, it's totally unacceptable. This is more evidence of the massive corruption of Sheriff Gualtieri and his henchmen acting on orders to harass and vilify a political opponent. Now, let's examine the trespass laws for a second here. Under Florida law, Chapter 810.08, trespass in a structure or conveyance. And what that says is whoever, without being authorized, licensed, or invited, willfully enters or remains in a structure or conveyance, or, having been authorized, licensed, or invited, is warned by the owner or lessee of the premises, or a person authorized by the owner or lessee to depart and refuses to do so, commits the offense of trespass in a structure or conveyance. Well, clearly this is a public building. I own it, you own it, we own it. We are the owners, not Pinellas County. The bottom line here is I am invited, I have the right to be there, that is a public place, that is a public office. So I literally had every single right to be there. Then it says that unless I'm warned by the owner or lessee of the premises or by a person authorized by the owner or lessee to depart and refuses to do so, as you saw in the video, at no point in time did anybody ever ask me to leave. In fact, the first time the comment of leaving is brought up is when I say that I have a right to leave, when he's trying to accuse me of obstruction for not giving him my ID. But if you look at the video, at no point in time was I asked to leave. So if you're never asked to leave, how exactly do you violate that law and how exactly do you get trespassed? And this is another mechanism that government officials use. They use their police to basically act as their bullies, their enforcers, to prevent you from daring to come and exercise your rights in public buildings. And this is something that's going on all across the state, but it's really, really bad here in Pinellas County. So you saw the fact that you have to ask yourself, is this how they treat everybody? Is this how they treat everyone? Well, I happen to watch a lot of what they call First Amendment auditor videos online, and I see a lot of people being treated similarly to this in government agencies and government buildings and city courthouses and city council meetings and town halls all across Florida. And it's a growing trend. We own the government, the people that work there do, and we are in charge, not you. And you don't have a right to anything we're doing. You don't have a right to see what we're doing or hear what we're doing or interfere. Otherwise, we will call our bodyguards, the policemen, and we will arrest you. We'll falsely accuse you. We'll kick you out of the buildings that you paid for. And this is not America. This is not freedom, and this is not how government is supposed to work. But we've let it get this bad. And that's why I'm running for sheriff of Pinellas County, because I would like to change that. If you look at what the sheriffs in Florida, the oath that they swear, they literally swear an oath to the government. Their oath says, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States and the state of Florida, that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of sheriff on which I am now about to enter. So help me God. So literally, the sheriff is swearing an oath to the Constitution, which you just watched them all violate multiple times in this video, and they're swearing an oath to the government. Nowhere in the oath do they swear an oath to the people, to protect me or to protect you or to look out for our best interest or to keep the peace or to do anything for the public at all. And that's part of why we have this problem. And we as the public have been fooled into thinking that we have to put up with this because they wear a badge. We have to deal with this because that's the way it is. They're the people that are in charge. And that's absolutely not true. We have the right under the election process to elect a sheriff who will actually look out for the people of Pinellas County, who will stand in their protection, who will literally defend them, who will enforce their rights, who will do what they're supposed to do in situations like this. Now, in this particular situation, what should have occurred, what I should have been able to do, was to call the sheriff's office myself and say, excuse me, I'm here at a public office. This woman just committed a crime by not allowing me to access records. I'd like you to come down here and file a criminal charge against her. And at that point, they should have come down. They should have looked at the law. Did you give him his records? No, I didn't. Do you have a legal reason for doing that? I just didn't want to, which is basically what she said. And then they would have either arrested her or charged her, or she would have complied and given me the records. That's the way it's actually supposed to work. That's what the law says. That's what the law says the police are supposed to do, enforce the laws. But as you can clearly see, the exact opposite is taking place. The police are allowing the government officials to violate the laws, and they are then protecting the violators, and then trying to criminalize those who dare to question it. And this is not what we signed up for. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. So I would like to have people in America understand that as a sheriff, I will be ending this type of nonsense. I will be swearing an oath to the people of Pinellas County. I will be ending all cannabis enforcement. I will be supporting civil rights for everybody. I will be eliminating policing for profit and the corruption that goes on in the sheriff's. And I will also be opening up my political corruption unit, which I will literally investigate any corrupt officials in public office anywhere in the Pinellas County area. If you have a problem with a police officer, you can report it to me. If you have a problem with a city council member or a code enforcement officer who is being predatory, that'll be able to be reported to me, and we will take action to protect you, the people of Pinellas County. So if you would like to join me in taking back our freedom, let's free Pinellas together. Follow my Facebook page at McGlinnis for Sheriff, and donate and vote and make your freedom my job. Thank you for listening.